It's double feature time. We've got two game books from two different companies based on two different licenses. Let's get started. The first one is Find Your Fate, Indiana Jones and the Curse of Horror Island by R.L. Stine. Yep, that R.L. Stine. This cover is great. You got Indy gripping his pistol. You'd never get away with that in a children's book these days. You got natives. It wouldn't be an Indiana Jones adventure without angry, and possibly racially insensitive, natives. Next, you got Indy about to whip the hell out of a panther. Indy doesn't give a shit about PETA. Then you've got some reject from the film Newsies. Well, Indy always did tend to have the occasional sidekick, so I stop now.
Short round. Step on it.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes.
Let's get to adventuring. You crack open the first page, and the first thing you find out is you're the sidekick and not Indiana Jones. That's right, you're the cousin of Indiana Jones. Did a publisher actually sit down and say, you know what would be cooler than being Indiana Jones? Hanging out with Indiana Jones. This is me. As you can see, I don't exactly look like the cousin of Henry Jones Jr. Maybe short round. Like all Indiana Jones adventures, the story revolves around an ancient artifact. This time it's a small carving called the Ebony Dove. According to the book, this item was sculpted over 2,000 years ago. The statue was hidden on a South Pacific island called Melkula, aka Horror Island. It was discovered by Abner Ravenwood. This was the father of Marion from Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Melkulan natives drove out Ravenwood when they found out that he had uncovered the statue. They feared he had released an evil that cursed the island and hid the statue again. Being the consummate relic hunter, Indy decides to set out and find this ancient artifact. They should have called this book Tag Along with Indiana Jones. Half the time you're just watching him do stuff. Other times you're given the choice to do what Indy tells you to do or act on your own judgment. Word of advice, Indy is always right.
I said what you said. I touch nothing.
So yeah, this one kind of sucks. Let's move on to Which Way, Batman in the Doomsday Prophecy. You open the book up and get the following disclaimer. Superpowers Which Way books must be read in a special way. Do not read the pages in order. If you do, the story will make no sense at all. You gotta love these disclaimers. Was there a confused kid who just flipped to the second page only to find the end at the bottom? As you can guess, this story is about Batman. And in this story, you're actually Batman. Mind you, you're not this Batman.
See? You wanted me. Here I am.
Or this Batman.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
And not quite this Batman.
Came a lot closer than you ever did. Puddin'.
I'd say the Batman role you're assuming is the one from the Silver Age, the Julie Swartz Batman. He's not a complete Dark Knight, but he's still the world's greatest detective. The story starts out with Batman noticing the bat signal lighting up the dark Gotham sky. But instead of the bat symbol, it's displaying a death's head. It's up to the Cape Crusader to find out who and why someone would tamper with the bat signal. As you can guess, it's one of the villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery. The reason is simple. Revenge.
Revenge.
Revenge! Now we're cooking, huh?
The death traps range from simple, like Batman being gassed in a phone booth, ridiculous, like Joker shrinking Batman to the size of a mouse and feeding him to a cat, to downright brutal, like Two-Face just blasting Batman with a flamethrower at point-blank range. Aside for a couple silly scenes here and there, you're still Batman, you're still kicking ass and taking names. All the classic Batman villains present, although acting a bit juvenile, seem to be true to form. It's not the Dark Knight Rising, but the book is simple yet effective. More importantly, you're Batman, making this book a quick roll.